Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. Today we are going to begin a new series, one that I am very excited for. So this is basically just me doing quick reviews of a release. I've done a few in the past, but this time we're just going to focus on Vinegar Syndrome for a while with the series. So today I have two great releases that I've just finished watching. I haven't watched all the special features, but these are just, reviews about the movies themselves. So, first one I watched was The Forgotten Gialli Volume 1, and the other one is not Impaled Rectum, but Heavy Trip. So, first one I watched was The Forgotten Gialli Volume 1. That includes the films of Trauma, Police Are Blundering in the Dark, and The Killer is One of 13. So, I just want to show you the inside here. I very much wish that I had the limited edition because you can see the discs are just kind of put in on this triple disc holder thing. And this part is always popping out for me. It's already done it twice since I got it a few days ago. But this is the back of it. There's not many special features for these movies. It's just an audio commentary for each of them. So what's in here, first movie that I watched in this set was Trauma. This one's about a Spanish novelist who goes to like a hostel or something, like someone's home who is renting the upstairs. And there's a lot of weird stuff going on. It's a really good Giallo film, but one of the main aspects of a Giallo film is who is the mystery killer. There's kills happening throughout the film. And my issue with the movie is that the killer is very predictable. If you've even... I don't even want to say it because it's a spoiler, but there's a very classic film by Hitchcock that is basically the same plot as this. That may be even a spoiler, just saying that. But what I thought of the movie, it was a good Giallo film. I was interested, but from the first appearance of the killer, which you don't know at the time, until like the final 5 minutes, it's always like the most exciting 5 minutes in a genre. But when that happened, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's the killer. It's that person. And the whole movie, I was like, I felt no tension, nothing. And finally, they were like, oh, here's the killer. And I was like, yeah, I know. The kills were not really anything to talk about. You can... Well, almost always the weapon is a knife like this. Like a scalpel. And so... my issue with that movie is that, like, I know a little bit about special effects and how to get, like, a cut around a neck, you basically have the knife's edge have, like, hoses, like, hidden hoses on it. And then you just put it on there and it like just does enough blood to where it comes down and it's like, whoa, gory. But in this movie it was so obviously like done, so the kills weren't even like anything cool, which is like another like big aspect of Giallo films. So I didn't really like it, but it was a good example of what Giallo films are. So I'd recommend it just to kind of study like what Giallo films are. But the next movie that I watched was the Killer is One of 13. This one was my favorite of this set. It's about a woman whose husband died in an airplane crash, and she invites 13 people to her home to try and figure out who was it. And so it's a really great murder mystery. The entire film, I was like, no, that's the killer, that's the killer, that's... And it just kept changing because every person seemed guilty. For good reason, too. And who the killer ended up being was totally out of left field. That's another, like, aspect of Giallo films. That's never someone you predict. My favorite one is Deep Red by Dario Argento, because that one is just so out of left field. And it makes sense, too. But that one was my favorite. Great cinematography, great acting. The kills were amazing. It was very believable. Lots of choking with piano wires. There were lots of stabbings, like someone gets stabbed in the boob at one point, and it was like awesome. But there was a lot of nudity in that film too. That was like insane, and in trauma too. That was like a movie where someone is like, "I'm hot," and they just throw their clothes off, and there's breasts like in your face for like 10 minutes, which is an unfortunate aspect of Giallo films, is the gratuitous nudity, which some people like. So yeah, it's fine. But Killers 1 of 13 was my favorite of the set, and then the last one was Police Are Blundering in the Dark. This one sucked. I don't even remember it, and I watched it last night. So the kills were really weak. The acting was subpar, but it was really bad. I really did not like that movie. I was saying on my haul video that should be out soon. Well, I really wanted the limited because I have the two here. Oh, I should not hold it by the top. I should hold it by the bottom. But I have the two other Giallo sets, and these look awesome. And this, it's like awful. But now that I've seen the movies, aside from Killers 1 of 13, like, I'm actually happy that I did not pay a lot and went on eBay for that. So I highly recommend the set. So I hope you guys can get yourself a copy. I think it's like $30 now for 3 movies. Really good quality release. So that's the first one I want to talk about from Vinegar Syndrome. The next one is one of my favorite movies. It's not Impaled Rectum, but Heavy Trip. So this is it says the genre here is this really long thing. It's a homage to the death metal genre, but it is a movie about a symphonic, past-apocalyptic, reindeer-grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war pagan, Finno-Scandian metal band, as what it says on the bottom. It's mostly just a melodic death metal band who they are trying to get to a festival. It's a road trip movie like none you've ever seen, and I really love this movie. It's a great homage to the metal genre, my favorite genre. I watched this originally a couple years ago on Amazon Prime, and I was like, I love this movie. I was like, it's never going to get a physical release. Again, Vinegar Syndrome goes crazy. Technically, it's not Vinegar Syndrome, it is Music Box release, but they have a partnership with Vinegar Syndrome, so that's where I got it from. But the music of this movie is actually really good. There are a lot of references to metal in general, so yeah, I highly recommend everybody get this. I love the slipcover for this. It looks awesome. It's a homage to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. It has a devilish goat on it, or reindeer, which is awesome. I didn't notice that until like now. But this movie is just so funny, and I always have issues like thinking of comedies because people are like, do you not like comedies? I'm like, I do. I just can never think of them. This is one of them. This is really funny. Lots of hilarious quips on the metal genre. So the acting is pretty good. There's even romance in this film. So, but this is such a great movie. Everyone should own it. So that is it for today. Just a quick video. I don't know what I'll be watching next, but I am making my way through Champagne and Bullets, my favorite film like ever. I have watched the original cut, and I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm excited for it. Another Satan movie, but yeah.